Vatican helped Europe colonize the world, that it justified European colonialism in the name of spreading Christianity, that there are papal decrees that allowed European empires to take over entire countries.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give our praises and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kudash, the Balanas, the Yellas, and the apostles of the great milestone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the full elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kudash. Now, this video going into the Pope, apologizing for basically their wicked deeds and whatnot, alright, and for lying and whatnot. But when they tell a truth, they actually are lying. They are not to be trusted because they was made crooked, as the scripture talk about. Alright, these people are not to be trusted because in this time that we live in, they are ruling, which are the Edomites, which are Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the top banking families. Alright, now this video going in here, going into that, and I'm going to play it, and I'm going to bring out scriptures in between. Alright, so without further ado, Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying.
Vatican helped Europe colonize the world, that it justified European colonialism in the name of spreading Christianity, that there are papal decrees that allowed European empires to take over entire countries. And for what? To allow colonizers to subjugate people, to take away their lands, wage war on their cultures, impose a self-conceived notion of racial superiority over them.
And all that what she said there. Let's get the scripture. Let's get the book of Micah 2 and 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." A matter of fact, I'm going to get it in the Blue Letter Bible. The book of Micah 2 and 1. You're seeing it here in the King James Version. It says on top, "Woe to the oppressors." Alright, and that word woe goes into destruction. On the NLT it says, "Judgment against wealthy oppressors." Who's the wealthy oppressors today? Esau Edom, the top banking families, the ones who have all the trillions of dollars, the ones who have rulership on this earth today. Job 9 and 24. The earth is handed over to the wicked. Alright? And they are being exposed more and more. It says here on the NLT version, it reads, "What sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans." Alright? "You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so." See that? They have the power to do so. Let's get Job 9 and 24. It says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked." You see that? So it was given unto them. This rulership is given unto them from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, because you went against the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright? Because when the Lord used Moses to free us from bondage out of the land of Egypt, when we came out of Egypt, we still went against the Lord, laws, statutes, and commandments. Alright? And what the Lord did, the Lord hide his face from us. He scattered us on the four corners of the earth by using his sword. And his sword is who? He saw Edom. Alright? And these are the heathens. And what they did, they put us on that Atlantic slave trade. So we were scattered all over. And one of the number one ship they use, the name of the ship is Jesus. Good old Jesus. That is where they got the name. Because when you read lower down in this, in Job 9 and 24, it says, He covered the faces of the judges thereof. And the top judge is who? Yahushai, who the world is ignorantly called Jesus Christ. They whitewash that image. Alright? They whitewash the image of Yahushai. They whitewash the image of all the angels, all the men of the Lord, who wrote the books that is in the Bible that you read today. They whitewash all of them and say they were so-called white people. This is what these wicked and them did. Alright? These wicked is who did all these wickedness to us. Now let's continue. Let's go back to the book of Micah again. Micah 2. And let's go to verse 2. It says, They covered fields and take them by violence. You see that? Same thing what the lady was talking about. Alright, same thing what the news lady was talking about. Excuse me. They take it by violence. And houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. This is what Esau did. This is what these churches and them did. Especially the Roman Catholic, the Vatican Church. Alright? These wicked doers. Alright? Which all of them come from that same seed of Esau Edom. Alright? They call themselves Jews, but they are not. They spread lies around the world and have people believe in all kind of dotishness. This is the people that we had to deal with. Let's get the book of Psalms, chapter 36 and verse 4. It says, He devised mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. And that Salakia, and that word abhorreth, it goes into despise. Alright? Let's read the NLT. It says, They lie awake at Salakia, they lie awake at night, hatching sinful plots. Their actions are never good. They make no attempt to turn from evil. Alright? Alright, so this man wasn't created straight. He wasn't created to be on the right hand side. He was created to be on the left hand side, to do wickedly. Alright? Let's get the next scripture. It's the book of Proverbs 4 and verse 16. It says, For they sleep not, except they have done mischief. You see that? So basically, these devils and them, they cannot rest. You know, the name is not Esau. If it is, they didn't do anything wrong. You know, they have to do something wrong to feel good. This is how these devils are. This is how these Edomites are. Verse 16, it says, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. Alright? And they cause Israel to do what? To fall. They cause Israel to go against the Creator. That's why our people are so destroyed in their mind today. They believe in white boy Jesus, and that is not his name, and that is not how he looks. He's a so-called black man, alright, with woolly hair. That is how he is. But yet still, Israel don't want to obtain this. They think we're making these things up. But we don't make up these things. Everything is written in the scriptures. Alright? Let's get back to the video.
Over them. And all of this just because the colonists claimed that they were the ones who discovered new lands. So they had a right.
And you see that this is something that they did. Christopher Columbus, Christopher Colon, or something like that his name is. Alright? He claimed that he discovered Trinidad and Tobago. He claimed that he discovered America and other parts of the world and whatnot. He haven't discovered anything. Alright? Because all these different lands was populated with people already. Different tribes of people. He haven't discovered anything. But what they did, they took people land. Micah 2:1. Alright? Going on to verse 2. They took lands of the Israelites and how they took it by violence, which you're gonna see a little bit in this video here.
To rule over those new lands. Now the Vatican has come forward and apologized for what it did. It has apologized for helping the colonizers. Here's a report.
Have you heard something called the doctrine of discovery? It's Europe's version of finders, keepers. It's what European colonizers used to subjugate the world. The doctrine was cited by Europeans who discovered new lands, and the doctrine traces its roots back to the Vatican and to the Catholic Church. Now the Church has apologized for helping in their conquests. On Thursday, the Vatican issued an unprecedented statement. It officially apologized for its historical role in justifying colonial powers.
Do you hear that? You hear that? They saying that they apologize, but that apology is not sincere, because at the end of the day, this man is created crooked. Alright? These devils and them would not come out and see the truth. Alright? They would not come out and speak the truth. They will come out and speak lies. Alright? Because that is how they are. This is the book of John. This is the book of John 8 and let's see. John 8 and 44, it says, ye are of your father the devil. Alright? And the word devil goes into what? Slanderer, deceiver. As a matter of fact, let's go into it. Now, we went into these things already many times in our other videos, but you know,
Strong's G1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
Diabolos, right? It says here in the outline of biblical usage, prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. This is the things that he do. All right. Let me jump down to 2. It says metaphor applied to a man who by opposing Salakia, the cause of God, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. And this is these people here. Alright? These people and them who come out here to basically act like, you know, they so high up there, they could sit in the temple of the Most High and this stuff. Alright? This is how wicked they are. But they're going to get a dread wake up. Alright? Then we continue in John 8:44. It says, ye are of your father the devil. Alright? So you know he's a slanderer, a deceiver, right? And the lust of your father he will do. He was a murderer from the beginning. And who was a murderer from the beginning? When you go back in the book of Genesis, Cain slew Abel. That was the first murder. So who you think is Abel? Who you think is Cain today? Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Alright? It says here, he was a murderer from the beginning, and abdul not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. You see that? So these devils and them would never speak the truth. They will always lie. Alright? Always. Check this one here. This is Psalms 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Alright? His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. In the NLT it says, his words are as smooth as butter, but his heart, meaning his mind, is war. Alright, so they always looking to do evil. They always looking to do wickedly. They always looking to come with violence towards other nations, towards the Lord's people, which are the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Alright, look at the people today who have say in the world, you know, who could go and cut in front of a line and walk up in front and get service, you know. Look at the people who have all these perks, and look at the people who's behind. Alright, it says here, his words are as smooth as his words are as smoothing as lotion, but underneath are daggers. Alright? So he just come with that forked tongue, you know, that double tongue. He will give you a little bit of truth and a little bit of lies. This is how these heathens are. This is how this devil is. They are not to be trusted. That's why the kingdom is coming down.
The Vatican issued an unprecedented statement. It officially apologized for its historical role in justifying colonialism by European powers. The Vatican said, the Roman Catholic Church repudiates those concepts that fail to recognize the inherent human rights of indigenous peoples, including what has become known as the legal and political doctrine of discovery. It also declared that the doctrine is not part of the Christian's faith, but the Vatican is centuries late. The doctrine of discovery is a concept laid out in the so-called papal bulls. What are these? These are usually official statements from the head of the Catholic Church. That would be the Pope. So no less than the popes were involved in justifying European colonialism. Their decrees were used extensively in the conquest of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Africa, and the United States. The colonizers claimed that they had the approval of the church to have sovereignty, property, and commercial rights in lands they discovered. Here's an example.
And they haven't discovered anything. Alright? This is just a curse upon Israel. Alright? And you will get those things in the book of Deuteronomy. Alright?
Papal decrees in the 15th century permitted Portugal to subjugate Muslims and the non-Christians in Africa. That's not even the ugliest part of these decrees. The Vatican was quite explicit when it came to who Europe could colonize. It could.
And all these pictures that you're seeing, right, that they're colonizing and whatnot, is Israelites. Alright? It is Israelites. Because after, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, when Yahweh Bashem Yahushua used Moses to guide us out of Egypt, right? And we went against the Lord's statutes and commandments. What went on with us? Alright, what went on with us? We end up going against the Lord's statutes and commandments, and the Lord hide his face from us. Alright? And from there, that was it. It was just downhill from there. Ever since, it was just downhill from there. So these devils and them, they colonize us and whatnot. They have us in that dead state of mind, But all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The Lord took us out of that way now. He brought us into this truth for us to get this knowledge and understanding, to preach to all you now, to edify all you, for all you to turn back to the Lord, But the only one who would turn back is the elect of Israel. Alright? The rest will die on this side, and they're going to return back into the kingdom through the loins of the elect men. Alright? And Lord willing, we make it in that number, that 144,000. Let's get the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and I will read from verse 30. It says, Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. You see? So you don't see how the curse done working on us there. Alright? So all the things that you had from in the old days, right? Esau came and he come and took it from us. Alright? He hold us in captivity and whatnot. He break into houses and whatnot. He took our cattle and all these things. He took our wives. He took our children. Some of us was children and some of us was on that slave ship. Alright? Some of us was unalive. These are the wickedness that this devil did. Verse 31, it says, Thy ox shall be slain before thy eyes. Alright, from them devils and them. And thou shalt not eat thereof. Thy ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. You see, you're not even going to get back your things. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies. And who's our enemy? Esau, Edom, so-called white man. And thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy son and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. You see that? See, we get grabbed up and whatnot. We get grabbed up, we get thrown on ships. You know, some was thrown to other countries. Everybody was separated. Alright? Some went to Babylon the Great. Some went to the Caribbean islands and whatnot. These are the things that went on with us, pertaining to the video that we was watching. Alright, so it says here, verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fall and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. You see that? So you have no power in your hand again, because back then Israel was powerful. We had a rulership. You understand? And the Lord took away all these things. The scripture also goes into those things too. That's roughly paraphrasing. The Lord does take you out of power, and He does also bring up whoever He please in power. And who He put in power today? The basis of men, which is Esau, Edom. It says here, verse 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. Hey, these scriptures and numbers be on point.
It could only be non-Christians. So colonialism was essentially used as a tool by the Vatican to spread Christianity across the world. And the colonized countries paid a huge price. Take Canada, for instance. Between the 19th and the 20th centuries, more than 150,000 indigenous children were taken hostage in Canada. They were snatched away from their families and lodged against their will in the re-education institutions. Here, they were
same thing what is I talk about?
subjected to unspeakable atrocities. They were physically assaulted and sexually. Many of them didn't survive. They were buried in mass graves that are still being discovered in Canada.
And when they came to Trinidad here, where the Red House is, a lot of people don't know that it have a lot of the Caribs and Arawaks and them that is buried in the grounds on that. Alright? This is the wickedness that these devils did. And they have a big price to pay. That's why Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, He's going to send back His Son, Yahushai, who the world is ignorantly called Jesus Christ, to take back rulership on this place. And the Lord is going to slaughter all of those heathens. They are going into captivity. They're going to be our slaves. And they're going to be our slaves for 1,000 years. And after that, they're going to be desolated, wiped off the face of the earth. Yes, you, Esau, Edom, you're going to get wiped out.
Last year, Pope Francis visited Canada. He apologized to the indigenous people for what the Vatican put them through. In 2015 too, the Pope apologized for the Catholic Church's action in Bolivia. He sought forgiveness not only for the offenses of the Church but also for the crimes committed against the native people during the so-called conquest of America.
And you don't believe it? For all who believe what this man say and whatnot, All they had to be some real jackass. Because this man, as you read in the scripture, you know, John 8 and 44, you know, they speak lies, you know. Also already other scripture, they speak smooth words, they speak words that all they want to hear, and all they so dotish, all they will accept the apology. But at the end of the day, it's not what you think, it's what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai think. And at the end of the day, it is written that these same devils have to go into slavery next. That's why the scripture talk about in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, I believe. They talk about Esau, which is the so-called white man, is the end of the world, which is the end of an age. And Jacob, which is Israel, is the beginning of it that follow it. Alright? So these devils and them is almost out of here. They're almost out of here.
Just so you know, European colonism was a vast and often very violent project. The whole world at some point or the other has been under the control of a European power. Look at the French Empire. It ruled over territory greater than the size of the Europe itself. Then there was the British Empire, the most notorious of them all. And its peak was about 25% of the world population was a subject of the British Empire. Apologies are welcome and long overdue. But preparations will be the closest they'll come to making amends.
And these devils and them, they're living on borrowed time right now. Alright? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to take them out. But a lot of you Israelites out there, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, all they will see all these kind of videos and all they will still be part of those churches, still be part of those Christianity. Why? Because all they stiff-necked, all they hardened, all they don't want to learn, all they think we're making these things up. Let's get the book of Hosea 4 and 6. It says, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children." Alright? So the Lord will forget all you. The Lord will destroy all you, together with these heathens. Why? Because all they hard-headed, all they refuse to turn back to Him. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. This is your brother Imad Bayan signing out.